October 11th. We're here to celebrate Paul D. Dickinson's book, and W. Joe Hoppe is going to be our first reader tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce Joe, and Joe is going to introduce Paul. And yeah, so glad you guys are all here. We have both writers' books here, and they'd be happy to sign them for you. I think. No one has said no so far. W. Joe Hoppe is the author of the poetry collections Diamond Plate and Galvanized. He is an associate professor in English and creative writing at Austin Community College. Please give a warm welcome to Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Thank you. Okay, so when Paul's book came out, I said, you have to come down here and we'll have a reading. And so we did, and that's wonderful. And I'm excited to read from my manuscript, Hot Rod Golgotha, which hopefully someday is going to be a chapbook with all kinds of great, interesting imagery. So, Hot Rod Golgotha comes from Allen Ginsberg's poem, Howl, and this is the quote. They drove at breakneck speeds down old highways to reach Hot Rod Golgotha. Golgotha Hill, place of a skull-shaped hill, a hot rod or heaven of redemption where it all pays off. The work to get money, the money to get parts, the finding of parts, the scrounging of parts, the connecting of automotive accoutrements, the work once you get the parts to fit them all together in strange new ways like nobody has done before, and form follows function, insatiable beauty, only to hit the road, hit it hard like a skull bone, like a free road agent taking your agency into your own wrench, twisting, hammer banging, flame torch cutting, grinding, sanding, polishing, shining hands, the traverser of the boulevards, answering to no man, hot rubber on velvet, dark soft asphalt, gasoline vaporizing in the air combustion chambered, and shaved heads, higher compression, harder than any bone skull, gear heads grinding out the road song so long, death song, escape velocity within 8,000 RPM, punctuated by dashed yellow lines until every single bit beyond the essential peels away like the skin off a skull where it's all left behind. So this is an older one, and I do have kind of a goofy introduction. It's called Tire Tracks. And way back in the 90s, Albert Huffstickler and I, for a little over a year, monthly, we'd go read at the state hospital, the mental health facility. And the very first one we went to, Daniel Johnston was there. And it was great. And, you know, we knew who Polly went to, and we knew who Daniel was, and he was flirting with Polly, and it was really sweet. And anyways, I read this poem, and Daniel really, really liked it. So, Tire Tracks. Something was wrong with his sense of touch. The only feel he felt was roll. Mad sci-fi doctor welded little Hot Wheels cars to the tip of each finger. So he knew what was what through their tiny wheels as he drove all over his grandfather's faded tattoos. What the heck? We were talking in my class just yesterday about Robert Creeley and one of my all-time favorite poems, I Know a Man. And so I've got this poem called $5,200 MSTA, an old classified ad talk. MSTA means must see to appreciate. I got to babysit Dennis Johnson, great writer, Cadillac for a while, and it was pretty thrilling. And he wanted me to sell it for, I was babysitting it with the idea of selling it, but people would come and look at it and make disparaging remarks, and I would tell them, man, you shouldn't even be looking at this car. You don't deserve to see this car with your eyeballs. So $5,200 MSTA with debts to Robert Creeley, and Dennis Johnson. The bums raise their heads from their knees and smile, stagger out into traffic with arms open wide, saluting wonder and proclaiming beauty when Dennis Johnson's Cadillac drives by. Romanticized in lipstick red reflection, sex waxes over the fenders like the glossiest Valentine. Back in '74, this blonde outside Alpine rode me all the way to Phoenix in a car just like that. Heroic figures you can't ignore. 18 and a half feet of 73 Eldorado, 5,000 pounds, 501 cubic inches of mighty V8, power steering, power brakes, power windows, power ragtop, power on the cusp of emissions laws and gas crises. Why not buy a goddamn big car, goddamn big American car, enter the darkness that surrounds us with firm purchase? The few who I'll listen to urge me on with drive, keep the top folded back and find the highway luminous. We're going to come back to that one. We have a art guy in the audience I just met, Steve. So this one's for you. Where'd Steve go? There you are, Steve. This is for you, Steve. And it's called A Rebuttal to the Film Critics Who Didn't Dig Speed Racer. You remember the old Speed Racer movie, the live action movie from years ago. Some people didn't like it. Maybe you only used your orange strips of Hot Wheels track to raise welts on your sister's legs, never linking them up off the dining room table to run across the house, under the couch, then all the way to your bedroom, or once you finally got some curved pieces, maybe even down the dark basement stairs. Or maybe you didn't carry small cars in your pockets, secretly rolling their wheels with your thumbs, an engine in the back of your throat, softly rumbling as your secret way to get from one page, one task, one room, one any place to the next. Maybe the roadside shadows of your father's car didn't skim the ditches at over 100 miles per hour, or you didn't stretch through rear windows with your own cars in hand to glide them along balustrades and balconies, bridge cables, billboards, the sleek silhouettes of other real cars you knew you'd never ever ride in. Maybe you still don't visit art museums with a die-cast hot rod in your suit coat pocket, wondering what it would be like to careen on 4 very small wheels over the marble breasts of a Greek goddess, follow Henry Moore's lines back to the cave, roar between Nevelson's boxed canyon walls, launch like Evel Knievel off Brancusi's graceful turnings.
Come to my museum, Joe.
Oh man, I'm gonna do, let me see, just 2 more. All right, this is a fun one, and if you looked at it on the page, you'd realize it was a sonnet, but if I read it right, you'll have no clue. So everybody's been to the Buffalo Speedway in Houston, right? Seen the signs for Buffalo Speedway? So this is about that. Buffalo Speedway, Houston, Texas, 1979. Then never before 2 or 3 in the morning, we'd take out our adolescent angst and our parents' Vista Cruisers, estate wagons, safaris, our own Novas, Ramblers, Darts, maybe Mustangs. No, we were not the coolest. We knew our rides were lame, but we'd found the weedy tunnel that got us into the pits of the late great and abandoned Buffalo Speedway. Those cars we drove, mostly powered by a basic 6. Attempts at racing would have been beyond pointless It was just about gathering the herd, thundering round and round, relentless, raising dust on that half-mile oval's dirt until somebody crashed or we ran out of gas. Okay, and this is thank you. This is the educational part of our evening, and a nice segue into what Paul's about to tell y'all. And this one has some rhyme and some rhythm. And after I tell my students not to do that, I feel free to go ahead and break my own rules. So, in case you're wondering, this is how cars work. You've got to know what makes those cool cars go. But you've got to know what makes those cool cars go. Pistons pumping that solid engine block, crankshaft cradled and connected, flat head, wedge head, Hemi head, tap bits riding camshafts, pushing push rods, rocking rocker arms. Open up that intake valve, let in the fuel air mix, close those valves down for an explosion. Open up that exhaust valve and let it all out, baby. You've got to know the suck, squeeze, bang, and blow. What is happening when you turn that key? Starter relays and ballast resistors, every amp and all the voltage straight to the starter. Got to crank her over, get those points opening up. Electricity inducted into those secondary wires. The big ones, cloth covered, rubber coated, maybe silicone even. Tens of thousands of volts straight to the spark plugs. You've got to jump that gap. You've got to know what makes it go. When you step on that gas and that smooth throttle cable opens up a butterfly inside the carburetor so that cool car can soar. Niagara of sweet gasoline splashes into vapor, atomized along intake manifold cataracts, past the valves, then boom again. That hot exhaust, thunder rushing, rare air, catch it just right, make it resonate, a muffler throb, a longing song. You've got to sing it, you've got to know what makes those cool cars go. So,